Every little girl has a dream, but I have way too many dreams. I love to paint. I want to be an artist. I love to sing. I want to be a singer. I hit 5'10" when I was only 12, so obviously I wanted to be a model. Of course, with all these talents, I wanted to be a superstar and live with a Prince Charming. However, I could never have imagined how hard it is to find Prince Charming. Actually, I had a hard time finding anyone that would charm my heart away. But I did become a runway model, finished my degree in art and music, and threw my passion on canvas with vivid color. My work is collected by museums, and I started my fashion line. But it is hard to be happy when you have to enjoy your successes in life alone. And it's totally unbearable when you have to deal with disappointments by yourself. Although art is my passion and creativity is part of my soul, I do long for a normal life. So I worked at AT&T and moonlighted as an actress, artist, musician, and fashion designer. Then I met the man of my life, or should I say the man of my soon-to-become miserable life. I don't know why I was attracted to him, as he is neither rich nor handsome, but I just fell hard into a relationship that should never have been there to start with. I don't know how many times I looked back and wonder why I left a hopeless, loveless relationship drags on for so long. Of course, there is no one to blame but myself. Just when I finally decided to cut it off with him, I found myself pregnant. He proposed to me and I accepted. I did not know if he could be a good husband, but I'll be happy as long as he's a good father. I gave all of my love and hope to the life growing inside of me. I named my baby Rhiannon, the name of a powerful witch, as my fate was forever changed when she was created. Rhiannon is a beautiful girl, or I should say she is a daddy's little girl. She was close to her dad, but distant to me. I often wonder if I was too busy with everything else I have to do and failed to give her the attention she needed. But I can't convict myself on that, as my #1 job title was her mom the day she was born. When Rhiannon was 1, I got up one night and Clemens told me he couldn't feel the left side of his body. I said we should go to the hospital, but he said he was fine. I was still 35 with a newborn baby, but I had to face a life with a husband who was sick and needing care. However, things went from bad to worse in ways I could never have imagined. I was exhausted one day running between the hospital and the babysitter and told Clemens that I couldn't go to the hospital that night. But I felt I shouldn't leave my husband alone in the hospital, so I found someone to watch Rhiannon and planned a surprise hospital visit. When I got to his room, I found a room full of people. A woman with 3 children, with 3 teenagers. But I could even ask them why they were there. They asked me who I am. I asked them, "Why are you here with my husband?" And the woman screamed and said she was his wife. Clemens watched his real-life Jerry Springer show without a word. Then the ex-wife's lawyer called me and told me to get a good lawyer, as I am married to a married man. Broken-hearted, I took my baby girl and moved to Texas. For 2 years, I learned to be a single mother. It was hard and sad, as I didn't know how to tell my daughter one day what happened to her father. Then Clemens showed up. and showed me he had a divorce certificate. He asked me to marry him, and I said yes. Clemens could no longer work, so I have to work multiple jobs. I was fine, but it deprived me of the time to be with my daughter. I was always exhausted at the end of the day. And one time I was so tired and sad, I prayed to God, please give me a man who will love me forever, provide for me, and never leave me. A few weeks later, I found myself pregnant again. I started to cry when Culver was born. Nurses asked me if I needed more painkiller, and I told her that my baby wasn't normal. He has Down syndrome. Nurses said I was crazy, as they thought Culver was a beautiful, healthy baby. But the doctor came the next morning and told me that Culver not only had Down syndrome, he had a heart defect. He needs immediate heart surgery or he'll die. I didn't know what I should do, but I couldn't find Clemens. Upon hearing the news, he left the hospital without telling me. He left the decision to me. Of course, I couldn't let Culver die. But doctors said there was no chance to save him. I remember crying the whole night for my son. I was ready to let him go, but the doctors said there was a miracle that had happened, and tissue had started to fill the holes in his heart so that he could wait for surgery. Culver stayed, but the problems also stayed. Culver had 2 open heart surgeries, but he is, as I wished for, loving and sweet. 3 years later, I had Arthur. He is normal, healthy, and beautiful. Actually, he took care of me in my broken heart. Clemens stayed, but he was never the same. He had another stroke and soon was confined to a wheelchair and unable to take care of himself. My daughter grew to be as beautiful as any mother could have ever wished for, but she somehow blamed me for her father's condition. One day she decided to move out. 3 days later, Clemens told me he was leaving. Arthur picked up where his dad left off and became the man of the house at age 12. He comforted me when I was crying and sad, and he showed me and his big brother lots of love. With Clemens gone, I finally was able to have Culver tested for autism, and poor Culver had it all these years without proper treatment. Finally, I enrolled him in a school, and he is now much better. Life is full of challenges. Sometimes I wonder if I'm up for the test. Just like the little girl I once was. I thought I was set to conquer the world, but now I realize I have the whole world because I have my family to back me up. No matter what happens, you can never let me down. I have no fear, you filled my life with laughs and joy. When we're apart, smiles were gone, but light shines through when I think of you. Wish I could fly to you. I am but lost when you're not with me.
With you by my side, oh my love, it's a pity.